Greg was called a national treasure last week on our show. And I believe he truly is, because he carries the embodiment of all the generations. I've never ever found anyone who does it like him. And I just wondered what you thought of that. You've known Greg a long time. So when you hear him talked about as a national treasure, what do you think of that?
Well, I mean, he is somebody that, is very meaningful. Somebody who's been a big part of my life. But again, you talk about, those first, times you meet somebody and those first interactions. He was one of the first guys in the position that he had that told me it was okay to operate the way that I was operating, guns ablazing, moving faster than I probably needed to. But he accepted me for that, and he supported me in that. And he was a guy that, even if I didn't think, I had something, he would sit there and find the gold, he would find, he would find, the silver lining for me and help me keep moving forward, and he's a guy that, he's been married to his beautiful wife for a very long time. He's got great kids. I'm just glad and so proud, to say that I know him and that I got to be, part of his story. But he's definitely a big part of my story. So the whole national treasure thing is not a stretch by any means. He's a mentor to many, and he's very humble when it comes to that. I don't know that he'll sit there and take a lot of credit for that, but I'm telling you, there's been more than a few times that I've called him, and not really meaning to call him to sit there and tell him about the issue I was having or the problem I was trying to solve. But that was definitely my modus. That's what it was going to come out. It was more, let me talk to my friend. Let's talk a little Seahawks football. Hey, by the way, let me run something past you. And he always listened, and he always gave me the advice, and I always took that advice. And I, every time I used it, it always helped me get out of, a few situations, or help me through a few situations. And this isn't just car business stuff. This is life stuff. This is raising your kids. This is, being a good husband. This is, being a good, citizen in your area. And so he is definitely a national treasure to me and to my family, for sure.
I love that.